Hello, I am Sophronia Scott, Director of the Alma College MFA in Creative Writing, and welcome to Faculty Friday. This is your opportunity to experience the amazing and talented faculty that we have ready to work with you in our program. Today we have with us the amazing Anna Clark. Anna is a writer who lives in Detroit. She is a reporter for ProPublica, a nonprofit newsroom dedicated to investigative journalism with moral force. She is also the author of The Poison City, Flint's Water, and the American Urban Tragedy, which won the Hillman Prize for Book Journalism and the Rachel Carson Environment Book Award. It was also named one of the year's best books by the Washington Post, the San Francisco Chronicle, the New York Public Library, Audible, and others. Anna's writing has appeared in the New York Times, the Washington Post, Elle, the New Republic, Politico, the Columbia Journalism Review, the Boston Review, Next City, and other publications. Thank you for being here today, Anna.
Thank you for having me.
So you are a journalist by trade, and some of uh, our nonfiction students come to the program with a focus on memoir, but they may also find that something has happened in the news or there's something going on in their town that has piqued their interest. And is there a way for them to, they might think, look at your resume and say, well, I'm not a journalist. I can't do a story like Anna did on my neighborhood's water situation. But that's not quite true, is it?
It isn't. I think, and I feel this really intimately. I mean, nobody like bequeathed the title of like reporter on me. Like it was one that I just made up. I was a self-employed, freelance journalist for a very long time, and I learned in real time how a lot of these techniques of reporting are things that you can just start doing. And I learned that these techniques like are certainly really meaningful for the work I do and publish as a journalist, but they're also really powerful techniques to deepen and bring more texture to completely different modes of nonfiction writing, including memoir, including essays, including even really lyrical pieces. I mean, it's I feel actually really excited about this. I want to like de-silo the best techniques of reporting and the best techniques of more creative nonfiction, and have people learn from each other, because they bring really a whole new kind of power there to your work. So yeah, I mean if you if, I like, so these are the techniques I'm talking about, they're like interviewing, use of public records, research techniques that overlap with reporting techniques, just going to a place, showing up at public meetings. All this stuff might seem separate from maybe a more intimate kind of nonfiction work somebody is crafting, but it can actually like uh, bring forth new possibilities. I know some memoirists who have, for example, used interviewing and fact checking and other kinds of techniques to broaden out the scope of the stories of their own lives, so they that they are in that way are able to fill in blank spots or bring new complexity to stories that might have been a little flat if they were relying solely on the kind of filmy memory realm.
Right.
You can bring like really powerful factual details that ground some of your nonfiction writing. You can engage in a really direct way with history, with contemporary events. One of the most famous nonfiction-ish text, of course, is like Truman Capote's In Cold Blood, and that was inspired by a little news brief in a newspaper about a crime that had occurred on the other side of the country, thousands of miles away from where he was living at the time. I mean, like, you can engage with the real world in ways that inspire your imagination. And I hope that writers who come through this program feel a new awareness and confidence in using all the techniques available to them, including finding out what they don't know yet, what maybe nobody knows yet.
Mm. I think the storytelling piece is also powerful because your Flint book to me is amazing because of the way you tell that story. You incorporate the past history of the area, and you it's like you saw how what happened in that town started many years before. And so I think that's an important skill too, is to recognize, to look at the pieces that you have, the pieces of reporting, and then to put it together into an engaging story, because that is a terrific piece of journalism, but it's also a story that like has that urgency of what's going to happen next.
What's going to happen next? Yeah, I mean, that velocity, I think, is like a really like a powerful register for nonfiction writers to be able to tap into. And one reason I was excited about to tell the opportunity to tell the Flint story in a book form is because I'd done articles about it. I'd done even long articles about it, but having the space of a book gave me more room to use some what might be called creative nonfiction techniques to pair with the reporting and tell what I hope was like a more, comprehensive, more panoramic, more multidimensional story that really showcased what made this city precarious in the first place and what it meant for a lot of different kinds of people. So I think like anyway, I think like engaging with the energy of this of what's happening now, or the recent past, or what might happen, like engaging with the events of the day isn't something that will make your work. I've heard some writers worry that will date it, or will make it like, you know what I mean? Like if I write about like a newsy thing, nobody will read my thing in like 5 years. Anyway, we can shake all this stuff off. like if you as a writer like can investigate the timeless qualities behind any newsy kind of event, and you can use what are often called reporting techniques to really power the full velocity, the full lyricism that's possible when you tell a true story.
Yeah, that's a good point, Anna, because it seems to me that with so many news stories, there is a note of universalism, like of thinking about where this could go next, and what is it saying about who we are as a people, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Like, why does this matter? Like,
yeah,
why does this matter for people? What is at stake? Why is this worth paying attention to? Like, so the Flint story, obviously there's like the newsy thing of like, do people have access to clean water? Why don't they? What caused what, all that, the aftermath. But panning out, I mean, it was an opportunity to really think about like how we like these larger ideas of like the common good. It's there's a section in the story where I pan way out and I'm talking about like the formation of the Great Lakes, because I was really struck by the irony, the melancholy, notes of the fact that like here we are in the state blessed by an abundance of fresh water that has like cultivated life here for thousands upon thousands of years. And then here we are, and then here there are people who live right within this water space way and don't have clean water to drink. I mean, like that, I found that very haunting. And so, so like these are some of like drawing some of the themes out from the events of the day. You can tell stories that are resonant, that really do last.
yeah. Well, thank you, Anna, for helping us delve into this concept of immersion and writing. And I hope you, the listener, will come to the Alma MFA and make your own explorations in the nonfiction that you would like to write. She is Anna Clark. I am Sophronia Scott. We are with the Alma College MFA in Creative Writing. We are currently taking applications for our next residency. You can learn more about us at our website, alma.edu/MFA. Thank you.